Welcome to Section 31, episode number 274. I'm Dan Hammond.
And I'm Rogue Schindler.
And this week, we are going to discuss our plans for GenCon. We may be traveling next Monday, so we may not record a show, or we might record a show while we're traveling. But that'll either be a wrap-up show or a post-GenCon show, so either way. Next time, we'll talk about how it went, but this time we're predicting how it will go, right?
Yeah, do you remember what kind of Wi-Fi they have in the airport? Is it free? Is it good? I think that's probably going to determine whether or not we...
I got my phone.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, we'll see what happens and how exhausted we are after this weekend's festivities, which will begin for us Wednesday night.
Well,
or Wednesday day.
Again, Tuesday night, right?
Sure. I don't know how festive that part's going to be.
Yeah, we're flying out Tuesday night late, and we're arriving Wednesday morning early. We're going to look for things to do Wednesday, and then Wednesday night the trekking begins, I believe.
Yes. So we've planned ahead. I've got Skull and Shackles, Pathfinder ACG packed up into a long box, and we can just find some space if we don't find anything else going on, and mow through a few scenarios or a few adventures, depending on how much time we have in our hands and how successful we are. But then I think now, are we doing the same as the Continue Committee, doing the same gathering thing that happened last year? I did not know about that until we were walking up to it. So that's something that if you're going to GenCon, you may want to hear about. Again, this may be all buzz on the boards, which I'm horrible and can't keep up with because I'm a slow reader. But
there was an article that went up mid-May that says that there was going to be a tournament Wednesday night, at least one. The last I heard was we were just going to have a gathering, and it was going to be more of a kickback, play Cards Against Humanity, and reacquaint ourselves with everyone who's gathering, once again for the annual December in Indianapolis. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to the same place we went last year, which was pretty good.
That was pretty cool. I did enjoy spending Sunday there. So I'm looking forward to getting to do the Wednesday end of it as well, and playing some new some Cards Against Humanity, and maybe take a test run on the new Tribbles.
Yeah, most definitely. I think I believe last year on Wednesday night we played Tribbles, and then that's right. Last year they were doing a play test, and I crashed that one at the end. And as people were coming out, they came out of the play test room and sat down and played Tribbles with us. I think that turned into, yeah. You know what? I don't remember. It was a year ago, and I've no memory, so never go with that. But I believe something's going on Wednesday. I'm sure it's posted somewhere, but I think it's at the same place we were eating it last time. So I'm going to be looking forward to that. And Tribbles. I got 10 sets ready to go. I've got I think I made up the same Tribbles decks that I made out to give away last year. I made up again, and I've got the new Tribble Royale ready to slide in and enhance those decks with, plus the side decks, the Trouble deck.
Nice.
Yeah, so that should be ready to go. And you told me something about Tribbles.
Thursday, I was just going to ask you about that.
Thursday through Saturday, we've got 10 o'clock Tribbles every night, which is, come and learn how to play. You said it was
sold out.
Sold out. That is amazing. I'm sure at 10 o'clock at night we'll be able to find more table space if more people show up. Yeah. But that's amazing that the Tribbles sold out. I wonder how many tickets. Did you see how many seats were available?
I did not, because it only tells you how many are left, and I don't really think you can look at it after it's sold out. At least I didn't try.
Okay.
But so yeah.
Could be 8, could be 16, could be 32. Who knows? But we'll have Tribbles every night at 10 o'clock. And if we do have more than, 3 tables worth, we'll probably do double rounds. So the first round will be the heats, and the second round will be the finals. And as we said before, we'll be using the Tribble side deck the whole time. Unless, and I guess the caveat being, if there's a person who really wants to test their deck for the Continentals Championship and wants to play without the side deck, maybe we can make arrangements. But you would be disqualified from winning anything.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea if people want to have a no troubles side if we have enough people. But I think most particularly for these fun events. I think people are going to be excited about trying out the new treble decks. I know I am.
Yeah, especially since it's before the official, they're not legal yet. But we got a little ahead of ourselves. So I'm looking at the schedule. Thursday there is a 10 o'clock OTF complete constructed event, kind of a warm up,
Yeah.
and second edition tournament at 4 o'clock. Oh, those are team tournaments. So get
Ooh.
with your teammates. I think it's a team of 4, and then whoever has the best record overall wins a team tournament. So awesome. And apparently there are some bonus prizes for the winning team. So that sounds fun. There's some hints about that.
Nice.
In the afternoon, oh no, as far as first edition, oh, wait a minute. It says first edition, 10 a.m., OTF complete constructed. Second edition. Who made the schedule? It's all over the place. So the team tournament is 10 a.m. for first edition and 4 p.m. for second edition. But at 10 a.m., there's an university draft for second edition. And at 4 p.m. is the crossover release event. And I believe you and I both have our tickets for that already, right?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
That's going to be our quick break from the all-day ACG room to come over and play in some crossover because I can't say no to Mirror Universe.
Yeah, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing the new cards, with all the right graphics and everything, and cracking open some Mirror Universe packs, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it should be fun. And then the last thing on the docket for Thursday is Tribbles at 10 o'clock. So, brilliant. Let's keep talking about the Trek events, and then we'll go back and talk about what else we're doing. Sound like a plan? Okay. So Friday is North American Continental Championships for Blues First Edition. So 9 a.m. quarterfinals and finals at 7 p.m. So everything in one day.
Whew, that's a long day.
That's 9 a.m. to probably
9 p.m.
Yeah, 12 hours.
Yeah. With
yeah.
Oh.
Are you bringing a deck to play?
Not in that.
Fair enough. And
no.
Yeah, going on in the background will be a sealed deck for second edition and standard construction at 4 o'clock for second edition. And it looks like if you don't make the finals and you still want to play some more first edition, there is an OTSD at 6 o'clock.
I'm bringing a 1E deck, but I can't imagine what is going to possess me to play in this because I don't feel like going into the super competitive meta. It's the same story for me. And to put it in better terms, that's 10, 12, 2, 4. That's 5 games of ACG we could be playing.
That is a good point, and probably a point that will sway me as well. Now, I have a deck. I did some poking around online. I was looking at a particular card that I really wanted to use, and one of my favorite things that you can do is you can look at that card and it'll tell you all the decks recently that have used that card. And I found a deck I was not expecting to see using that card. So I printed it out, and I'll be taking it with me. And I'm looking forward to playing it at the very least a side event. Maybe I'll sit down and play at the Continental Championships. But since it will be a deck that I did not put together and will not be familiar with, I don't think I want to spend all day playing it over and over again.
Yeah.
But I probably will play in a side event if I can.
Yeah, lose with it 4 times and then I think I know how to play this now.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, it sounds like a side event would be fun to play it with, and then bring it back here, maybe play it once in one of our local events, just to see how it runs and once you know what it's doing. But that is the docket for Friday, and of course Tribbles 10 o'clock. Saturday it is time for the second edition North American Continental Championships. Qualifier at 9 a.m. and finals at 7 p.m. So it looks like this is going to be another
all-in-one.
It's not going to be bracket-style elimination. Instead, the finals will be another 3-round tournament starting at 7.
Wow.
So that's not going to be 9 to 9. That's going to be 9 to 11. I don't think they're going to be done in time for Tribbles.
Wow. So top 4 advance, and then you play round robin?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Just shoot me now.
It'll be the top 8 if they have more than 33 players.
Yeah.
That's going to be a long day. Yeah, but I
have to make it a double tap then.
I like the fact that it's you're playing the same format for the championship as you are in the qualifier. You know, you're not changing over to no time limits, just get points and shut the other guy out. You're playing, you know, in another tournament with regular tournament rules, right?
Yeah.
All right. While that's going on, for the first edition only players, there's a DS9 only constructed deck at 10 a.m., which sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, if I was going to play in something, that would probably be it. If I had time to build the deck in the next 22 hours.
Was that the name? What was the name of the format that we played in all those years ago?
Dominion War.
The Dominion War. Is that?
That was my favorite.
Yeah. I wonder how this differs from Dominion War.
Well,
Dominion
there's all the block stuff now, and that's going to make a pretty big difference having all those engines there.
Certainly. I guess.
I'll tell you the big difference. It's going to I think the huge difference it'll make is. I don't know how many people picked up on it. Probably some. I only played it in once. I think I moved here after you guys had played it a couple of times, and I only got to play it in once. But it was what First Contact and DS9 Dominion and Rules,
maybe something like that. Yeah.
And the OTF, I think, and there was not in those in whatever the card pool was. There was not a single kill your entire away team or blow up your entire ship dilemma.
Oh.
And I really liked that. I don't know if anybody else. I mean, my game was so focused around that at that time because it was so. When I came from Boston, it was always, oh my God, are we going to get hit with the Borg ship? Or are we going to drop, Barclays or something else? You had to have everything ready and be prepared for anything and be very careful about where you sent your people. And Dominion War was like, wee, I'm attempting everywhere. Oh no, I'm stopped. Okay, I'll wait until next turn. And
that's funny. I hadn't thought about that. I mean,
it was such a relief.
That's amusing. I remember playing my Earring of Leonalis. Yeah. Well, that's how long it's been. I can't remember how to say the name. That was the deck I was playing, and I had a lot of fun with it. I don't remember why we stopped. I seem to remember we had. No, I just don't remember. We just played a bunch, and then maybe that was during a lull in card production, and once things picked up again, we went back to normal.
It's very possible.
Yeah. All right. After that, at 4 p.m. is a block constructed 1E tournament. So sounds like TNG and DS9. This could be like one of the last hurrahs for TNG and DS9 together, right? Yeah. Before TNG rotates out. Yeah, that should be fun. Then for those who didn't make it to the finals, second edition, there's an Academy constructed tournament with CSV only, a rarity, starter, common, and virtual, 4 rounds. And then for those of you who are not in the finals, triples 10 o'clock. If you are in the finals, you'll still be playing. You'll probably be in the third round. No, second round. All right. That takes us to Sunday, and Sunday is the interesting day. We start out at 9 a.m. with the Cool Tournament, which have you stopped by and seen at all in the past?
I don't think so.
Right.
I think I've been busy.
You recall Jeremy Commander's Cool Tournament, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
So that's what it is. It's that times 10.
So we're always talking about save that for a cool deck.
Exactly. So everyone brings their most bizarre thematic or whatever. And then there's a tournament played, and then after the 3 rounds or so, the panel of judges, which I've been fortunately been on a few times, gets to walk around the tables, and everyone explains their deck. So, if you if one of the winning decks a couple of years ago was we've got this we've got Vulcan over here, and then the Romulans come by, and then there's a black hole. And it opens up and sucks up Vulcan. And then old Spock and regular Spock come over here and make a colony. And it was hilarious. So things like that. And the winners in the past have been gifted things like design a card and things like that. So it's a very imaginative tournament, and it's a good place to show off. Your deck doesn't have to win any of its games, But if you can pull off that thing,
Yeah, creativity.
Yes. Meanwhile, there's a second edition traditional tournament at 9 a.m. That means physical cards only. I'm guessing you can play with virtual prints, but they have to be prints of physical cards.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, it says here, i.e. cards from expansions 1 through 14.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you can still print your cards, I'm sure.
Very good. And then the final event of GenCon for Star Trek is Tribbles at 10, but it's at 1 p.m. I don't know why it says Tribbles at 10. It's Tribbles at 1 p.m., and I don't think that's correct anymore.
I think it's a copy and paste because all of the others, they say Tribbles at 10, Tribbles at 10, except that this is not. It's not even Tribbles at 10, and it's not even Tribbles at 1.
No, I'm looking at my schedule, and I think it's 2 o'clock.
It does, which is problematic, I think, for some of our late goers. I know a lot of people try to play in Tribbles and then run to their
it's only going to be
plane, so
probably 2.5 hours. I'm guessing an hour plus 15 minutes for the first round, and then another hour for the second round. It's not all the tournament preserve, but yes, we'll probably be. There will be people who are packing up the Tribbles and then out. Yeah, that's for sure. But all the practice that we've done the previous nights and get your best decks together, or you can do what someone did last year and borrow one of my decks and win the whole thing with it. So there you go.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks to both of us. No, it should be a good time. I just handed off day before yesterday. I handed off the big box of all the prizes to Charlie, all the quirks. Is it quirks of various formats?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. So big piles of quark, Tribbles, and a mirror quark and another quark. So everybody quark.
Everybody quark.
That should be fun. I know I'm fairly certain that Sunday afternoon into the evening, for those of us who have either late flights on Sunday or early flights on Monday or late flights on Monday, there will still be some Trek players around on Sunday. We might just head back to the same venue we went to last time and hang out with the crowd there. That place we went to.
I think that's the same. I think that's the plan. I think we have it on Sunday as well.
Kind of rock something. I don't know.
Rock bottom? That's something else.
That's something else entirely.
Yes, quarks. Quark is correct.
Oh, good. All right. Well, then.
No, we're not playing at Quarks.
We will redub at Quarks. How's that?
That's awesome.
Quarks bar for the evening. All right. Then that is the official Star Trek tournament lineup. Now, you and I have tickets for things on Thursday for the adventure card game, right?
Yes.
Am I the only one that has tickets for that, or do you have tickets for that as well?
No, I have tickets. I have tickets for the regular thing, not the special thing.
And I and one of our friends, Chris McHenry, also got tickets for the tournament, which is going to be something different because no one really knows what's going on there. It sounds like teams are going to play, and whoever does the best, I guess, whoever has the most turns left over, I can imagine. Yeah,
I'm curious how they're going to rate that.
Yeah.
Or grade it or whatnot. How many hit points you have left? How many turns you have left?
Yeah.
How many sites you closed?
Should be entertaining. And if we win, we'll play again some other time, I guess. I don't know. But it should be fun. And I think that starts at 8 and leads until 4, as far as I got on my schedule. And then at 4 o'clock, we run over to play crossover.
Yeah. Now, if it's anything like GenCon last year, we'll be done so quickly that we should have plenty of time. I mean, depending on, how quickly, we've sometimes played another game in the same time slot and got one in, earlier in the day, we'll probably get that. But during that 2 to 4 slot, I figure we'll probably play one, finish it, and then we'll still have plenty of time to not have to run over.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good time to grab some food too before the crossover event, because the crossover event's going to go 3 hours.
Yeah.
Is that right? 3 hours? Wait a minute. Did I get my timing wrong?
I think it's 4 hours.
Yeah. Crossover starts at 4, and it's going to go until 8, and then Tribbles at 10. So we'll have a little window in there. I'm going to look at my calendar again. I thought it was
a little.
Yeah.
4 to 9.
Because we got to build decks and then play through
Yeah.
rounds. So yeah. So anyway, that should be entertaining, and that should be a full day. And then Friday and Saturday, I don't have anything on my calendar except I got to go look for a game called Bad Detectives for a friend of ours locally. I have that first thing Friday morning because I want to do it on Friday and not Saturday when the floor is a little bit more packed. I also have a stack of Magic cards that I want to trade in for another box of Dragons. That's my plan. I got all these foils from long ago that have been sitting on the garage that I want to see how much I can get for. And that's it for me for Friday. What have you got lined up for Friday and Saturday?
Well, I think GenCon's event schedule came up, was it right before or right after Origins, the actual Origins Con?
Yeah, right around there.
So I was coming off of that, and I was being very optimistic, even though when I go to both, I've usually, like, I do all my role playing at Origins, and then I try to do more card gamey stuff at Gen Con. But I was optimistically signing up for a few of these RPG games, and now I'm looking at this and going, like, why am I going to take up all this time here when I could be sitting in the Pathfinder room? So I have an Airbender game at 8 a.m. on Friday, 8 to noon, that I will probably, thanks to Gen Con's new, just introduced last year, you can use your ticket as generics if you don't want to go to that event policy. I may just skip that and go play ACG or go to the hall with you and check that out in between games, or go play something else, because I don't know. As much fun as I had at Origins, I'm just not really feeling very role play this weekend. I'm ready to go beat down some locations at the Pathfinder room.
Yeah, I know we both have at least. I mean, if Adventure 3 is out, then we each have a character that can run through that, and
Yeah.
we've got a character that needs to run through all of Season 1, Adventure 1 and 2, and then 3 if we have time. So that'd be 3 packed days of ACG right there.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. They're theoretically, the buzz is they will have the several new character decks available to play.
That's right. You mentioned that. It was like the Bard and the Paladin, and
there's already Bard, but the Paladin, the Druid, and the Monk.
Druid and the Monk, right?
Those are the next 3. Actually, it's supposed to go. The next 3 to release are Paladin, which should be for sale at Gen Con, Monk, and then Druid, which are supposed to release in August, September, and October. But rumor has it they're going to have some there to try out to play. So if there's a Monk there, or maybe even the Druid, I would definitely try that and use that as my new starting from the beginning character to get a look at that.
I think I would probably still run with Radillo the second. Yes. The first one hadn't been an untimely end in Origins. But if we have time, I would definitely look at the Paladin stuff, because that I remember looking at the Paladin and at least the first set, and then when we tried, I think it was a night that everyone played something else, and I was looking at the Paladin again, and it just didn't look fun. But I would like to. Yeah, I like the idea of kind of a fighter healer. It might be fun to look at some of the other, because you get the Paladin, figured at least 2 other characters in there.
Yeah, there should be 3 different versions of that class in each deck.
Yeah, so one of the weird ones. That's what I'd like to try.
But yeah, Friday night I've got tickets to the Gamers Live improv show, which I went to last year, and I really, really had a good time. We've talked about it before on the show. The Gamers movie, Darkness Rising, and Hands of Fate, both very fun, very entertaining, very popular at Gen Con. And those same guys, that group of actors and writers, come in and they do an improv show. And since I am once again, even though I don't have my head shaved this time, and I don't plan on shaving it in the next 24 hours, I'm going to bald cap it for that day and do my 1 day of costuming at Gen Con, because instead of just one other guy with me, we're going to have 3 other guys with me, or 3 other people with me, so we'll have a party of at least 4. of that costume group to
Nice.
go to that event. So I'm excited to bring that back with a bigger group. That'll be fun. Um, I think the only other thing that I have planned that is not ACG and Trek related is I recently, as I've mentioned a couple of times, got back into the My Little Pony card game, and I'm waffling about whether or not I am brave enough to go get demolished at the championships for a few rounds for the price of paying the price of getting the GenCon promo card versus just going and playing in an 8-pack draft, which sounds like a lot more fun and a lot less. I haven't played this game in a year, and I'm going to get my butt kicked. So I signed up for an 8-pack draft Saturday afternoon, so that I, if I'm going to run one of those locally, which I just convinced a local game shop to do, I figured it would be, since they don't have any. Oh man, I got to tell you, looking at card company or game maker websites for professional games these days, and then going to it's like we're so spoiled with the continuing committee website. It is far and away the most professional website out there, and we're not professional.
Yeah, I remember looking back when we were playing Stargate, looking at their site, and it was, I don't want to say horrid, but it was not, did not have any of the tools that I wanted. Like,
Yeah.
card lists.
Yeah, I mean they had to be like pushed to make card lists, and I cut them some slack early because they were the company is a trading card company and this is their first game, but it's been over a year. It's been like 2 years now, and they have not improved in any of theirs. All of their stuff, there's no centrally located information source. All of their marketing is through Facebook and Tumblr. There's no OP. I mean, there's OP, but there's no central location to find it. There's no central way of reporting that I'm aware of. And yet they're constantly trying to get people to, oh yeah, go tell your shop to have a tournament. Go tell your shop to register for this pre-release. Like, well, how do we get anything done? And so I'm looking forward to going and playing in a tournament with their official people and saying, okay, how do you do this? And why aren't you telling us?
Right.
So I have to go and play in at least one of those just so I can figure out how it's done and give them a hard time about other things like that, so that maybe they'll do it. Like, maybe you should go to this website, trekcc.org, and see that it's very simple to put something functionally usable together. Even if you just enlist volunteers.
Yeah. The disparity is just ridiculous, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it clearly, and our site has evolved over the large number of years that we've been doing this, but it doesn't take much to get to look at even like the Magic site. They actually have card lists and forums and links and organized play information in places where you would look for it. Like our site does.
Sure.
It's almost criminal that it's like they back in the day when they would not, when I think it was like the first or second set that they Wizards didn't produce a card list because they didn't want anybody to know what the packs were, so you had to keep buying packs to make sure you got them all.
Oh my God.
That really doesn't help now. I mean, you don't want to have people searching for information just get angry and upset and quit, right?
Yeah. So I'm trying to mitigate some of that with here, and apparently some people there know it and some people don't. So I guess the more voices they hear, the better it might be, at least for us locally. So I'm looking forward to that, and I got a bunch more cards, and so I'm excited about trying to get into the game. I actually met a few people online just via Tumblr through another fandom, so we're going to meet up with them there and say hi and play a few games. So I made a few extra decks. So yeah, that should be fun, and I'm looking forward to that. But aside from that, yeah, I also plan on doing what you said and filling every other ounce of time we can get into in the ACG room. And speaking of which, we noticed that ACGs only go till 6 o'clock. Tanis was telling us at Origins because they're in the same room as the rest of the Paizo, the Pathfinder RPGs,
Right.
and I guess they need room Thursday night and Friday night, or they need room in the evenings to do the special, which is a big event. They have several specials, GenCon only games, but apparently that is not so on Saturday, because there are ticketed events for the ACG going till midnight.
Wow.
So I'm pretty stoked about that. That's going to be like the last press to try and finish whatever
Yeah.
adventure we're on, or that last scenario we need.
Ow. 8 a.m. to midnight.
Yeah. Well, probably till 10 because we have to go play
with a break for Tribbles. Yeah. Woo! I hope that Chad and Tanis have more volunteers than they did in Origins, because they were there the whole time. Yikes! All right. Well, good. That should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to leveling up my guys and having a good time and beating down some cardboard monsters. All right. Anything else that we're looking forward to? I know that there was a concert on, was it Friday night?
Yes.
That Mac was talking about.
I did not hear about this until it was too late, but apparently there is a whole. It looks reminiscent of. Oh crap! Now I can't remember the name of it. Woodstock. That's it. Where it's just a bunch of geeks who got together and decided they're going to put on kind of a nerdy style variety show. Some spoken word, some music, some comedy, and it's not from them, but it's in that style, and it's Concert Against Humanity.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's actually at one of the concert venues locally, and they're giving away a ton of swag for it. So,
yeah, you know what they're giving away? It says over $100 with new products and show exclusives from Magic the Gathering, the Pathfinder ACG, and then I stopped reading.
Yeah.
Pollen Storm, Double Clicks, Molly Lewis, John Scalzi, Patrick Rothfuss. That should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would totally have done that if I hadn't already bought tickets for a thing that I'm costuming for that night.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to hearing how it goes.
$25.
Wow, that's nothing. I heard it was like 60. I guess if you get the cheap seats, it's
20. It said the little slider says 25 to 65. Use
nice.
The map. Updating available. There are $53. $53. No seats match $53. All right, let's go up to 45, 50. Yeah, there's a lot of seats left over $50. A royal balcony overhang. Well, I will think about that a lot because that sounds like a lot of fun.
Speaking of concerts, I also heard that Saturday is going to be a relative nightmare because there are like 3 major events happening all in the same area. There's
the
GenCon.
Yeah.
And some other big event that I can't remember off the top of my head. And then the other one is at Lucas Oil Stadium, which is the immediately adjacent stadium to the convention center. I want to say a Fall Out Boy concert. It is I remember it being a holy preteen Batman,
Wow.
like screaming girls everywhere type of concert. I think it's Fall Out Boy. But yeah, there's a major or One Direction or something like that. But yeah, there's a major, huge concert next door. So if you're going to be at GenCon on Saturday, I would suggest getting food at lunch for dinner.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Man, that's going to be rough.
And taking it with you because, oh my God, it's just going to be ridiculous. And don't leave the convention center unless you're going back to your hotel because it's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah. Our hotel is connected to the convention center by Skywalk. So there you go.
Yeah, and it's in the opposite direction of all of the socially available activities. You know, it's not on the way to downtown or the convention center or anything like that. It's away from all the restaurants. So one of the nice things about not being in the Hyatt this year.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't think that changed any of my plans, but
Just
hope it
something to
doesn't
be
change my
aware of.
mind. Yeah. Kidding. Yikes. All right. I think we have one more thing to talk about, and that is the animated series. Unless there was something else I missed.
I don't think so.
All right. So we'll
But
change gears.
yeah.
Yeah. And we both watched the episode called The Survivor. This is episode number, season 1, episode 6.
God, this is only episode 6.
Yes. Yes, it is. And I watched this a few weeks ago because we haven't either recorded or talked about it a bit. And I didn't hate this episode, but it felt kind of blah to me. What'd you think?
Yeah, I had my reaction to this episode is sort of normalized from my usual reaction, where I really liked a bunch of stuff, but I really hated a bunch of stuff. This one, I didn't hate a lot of the stuff I usually get angry about, where they skipped a bunch of story and they, you know, rushed through whatever. I felt like the pacing was a lot better and they seemed to explain everything. But yeah, there was parts of it that were a little bland. I was kind of annoyed with the random lieutenant who was engaged to the survivor.
Yes.
And cause she's like, "Oh my god, I still love you, and how can my life not love you anymore?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, really? We just had the really awesome, ladies are cool and take over the Enterprise because all the men have become brainwashed episode, and we're regressing to this." But it got much better. Like she got better. You know, the whole turnaround was her kind of understanding that, oh well, you're an alien, but you know, you're still a really cool person inside, and you're
Sure.
like the person I loved, and so let's give this a shot. And you know, she actually I kind of rolled my eyes when she let him go when he escaped. But then she's like the one who stops him, and you know they have the whole moment. So that was pretty cool.
I liked. I kind of liked the background story, where the Romulans released this spy to get on board the Federation ship and lead them there, and you know now they can salvage the ship because that's what the treaty says. That was kind of an interesting take. You know, an interesting little I guess main plot, but I don't know. I guess this is something that would be difficult to do in, you know, I guess with real actors, you know, the shape changing stuff and the weird looking alien thing.
Sure.
I did like the very end.
I'm changing shape. You can tell because I've crossed my hands.
What was that? That was weird.
I don't know.
I
did like the callback to the Enterprise incident, where they're like, "Oh, Captain Kirk, you seem to have a propensity for violating our neutral zone space." It's like, whoa, okay.
Yes. And I originally thought that they were so starved for voice talent that Shatner was doing the voice of Carter Winston, but it was actually somebody else that just reminded me a lot of him. Unfortunately, it kind of distracted me in the beginning because, you know, you got to play the game. You know, who is James Doohan doing this voice for this time?
Well, this week it was who was Nichelle Nichols doing the voice for this time.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah. All right. I think this has the best line, you know, the funny line at the very end.
Remind me, I watched them both back to back. I watched 2 episodes in a row, so I don't remember exactly.
That's funny. Something about let's see, got him in a guard. If you turn into a second Spock, we've been too much to take, says McCoy. And then Spock says,
"Oh yes,
but to Dr. McCoy's just might bring the level of medical efficiency on this ship up to acceptable levels." That was awesome.
I couldn't remember if that was from the next episode or not, but yeah, I was going to mention that line was awesome. That I was much more happy with that level of Spock McCoy banter that had
Yes.
been kind of missing for a couple of episodes. But yeah, that was that was awesome.
No, like I said, I'd say mid-range. This is I've rated a lot of the episodes higher than I probably should have, so this is going to be right down the middle. Yes, with 3 out of 5 for me. But yeah, I wouldn't never watch it again, but that would say that a lot about a lot of episodes. And as you said, we watched the next episode already, so we'll talk about that one next time, right?
Yeah, that's a good plan.
All right.
Now there was a lot of shapeshifting going on here. Do you think that a card of this guy would be would that be able to make use of all of the shapeshift cards in either edition?
Yeah, I'm thinking about. I mean, because there was a lot of. He was very Dominion-like, right?
Yeah,
Founder walking around impersonating people,
yeah,
and marking out orders. What issue secret orders, whatever. Definitely get to do that.
yeah.
Special
Little
download of that.
download.
Yep, that sounds good. And yeah, Romulan,
Infiltrator.
yeah, Romulan personnel, Infiltrate Federation. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Acquisition, Federation
Yeah.
acquisition guy. Have a lot of that.
Treachery honor.
Yes,
Good old 1E treachery honor
romantically involved with Lieutenant. Who are you?
with not Nichelle Nichols.
Annie Norrid. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll take that.
All right. Well, we've pre-watched our episode for next week, so we don't have to worry about doing that at Gen Con. We'll have one ready. Unlike my failure at the remember your failure at the Comic Con. But I think both of us have packing to do in the next 21 hours to get
Less than
done.
that. I got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, same here. And probably sleep somewhere in there. So we should probably wrap this up, and then we will go have an amazing time at Gen Con so that we can come back and tell you about it. So we're going to wrap this up and give a shout out to Warp 11 for their awesome theme song and the complete dearth of people following along with our animation viewing, because we haven't heard from you. If you are watching along, please let us know so we can you can chime in and we can talk about it a little bit more. In the meantime, I am Sir Rogue.
And I'm Sir Dan.
And I will remind you all to expand your power at the Gen Con.
I will breed tribbles at Gen Con to end.